So hey guys, I will begin with new series. The series name is What If Naruto Had Bulk Grimoire, so this is the first part of the series. For as long as people could remember, humanity faced a near end, where people were about to be overrun and killed by demons. They feared their inevitable demise. But one day, a man wielding a grimoire slayed the beast. The people were freed from the shackles of being in fear of demons. The man who killed the beast was later known to be the Magic Emperor. And now, just you watch. I will become the next Magic Emperor and be the strongest there is. Hissed a boy with blonde hair to a group of people who were laughing at him. Meet Naruto. No last name, as he doesn't recall having one in the first place. He wore a ragged brown shirt, brown pants, and with some sandals. His hair was messy and his face distorted with determination as the orths laughed at him. Once again, Naruto had been trying his absolute hardest to be recognized. He was recognized, but for the wrong reasons. He wanted to be known as a man who was incredible in any way. And every way. Ever since he could remember, which was not very long actually, he lived always in a church not far off from the city. It was more of an in-between type building, halfway to the city, halfway to the bones of the demon that threatened to wipe them out. Other children lived in the church as well, but they had one thing Naruto didn't. See, every child in this church could use magic. But not him. Even the sister of the church and the father could use magic, but he was the only one who couldn't use it. He was extremely adamant that he had magic, and that it was just dormant right now. And that when it awakens, it will be the most powerfulest thing ever. That was the gateway which led to the mocking. Now the ringleader of the teasing was a boy who too was Naruto's age. He had raven black hair, charcoal black eyes. His clothes consisted of a blue-black shirt, white pants and shoes on. He and Naruto were left at the step of this church. But when Sasuke showed extremely wondrous skill using magic, Naruto saw him as a rival, and sought to try and beat him. But no matter what he did, the boy named Sasuke kept besting him. He had already won the favor of the father of the church and the other teens of the church. When it was revealed that Naruto never had any form of magic, Sasuke mocked Naruto and teased him, stating that he was weak and that it was a miracle he was still around. But Naruto persisted. He wanted to be recognized, to be seen. But every time, it was one fuck-up after another. You, Magic Emperor? Don't make me laugh. You'd more be suited for the part of slave. You will never pass for anything without magic. And for you, you don't have any, howled Sasuke with Naruto clenching his teeth as he seethed with rage. I will be Magic Emperor one day. Mark my words. Barked Naruto only to be hit in the face and launched back by a volley of water from one of the other teens. You will never be like us. All you're good for is being a punching bag. Cackled the kid as they ganged up on Naruto and used various forms of magic to bully poor Naruto. Naruto just lay there as he was set alight, drowned, and even had a bolt of lightning hit him every now and then. Even though Naruto was aching to be recognized, there was still so much that he could take. Deciding to show off his fangs, Naruto sprung to his feet and grabbed Sasuke's hand and yanked it as hard as possible to where it was now threatening to break. But sadly, the sister came into the scene and found this. What's going on here? She barked, looking at Naruto, who was glaring at Sasuke. Please, sister. Help me, he's gonna break my hand. I don't know why Naruto is doing this, whimpered Sasuke, giving fake tears. Naruto. Release him, growled the sister. But I trailed Naruto, only to find a large amount of water above his head. Release Sasuke now. He has done nothing to you, said the sister, with Naruto clicking his tongue and releasing Sasuke. You will not get food tonight as punishment, said the sister, walking off. Ah, the little boy is gonna go hungry. Sucks to be you. Don't worry, I'll enjoy eating like a king, said Sasuke, howling in laughter with the others as they walked off, leaving Naruto to stand there in his own rage. Oh, how much he wanted to smash Sasuke's face in. Tomorrow he would get his grimoire. Tomorrow he'd show everyone just how powerful he really is. Walking off to do some more training, he failed to take notice of an auburn-haired woman who too was 15. Her hair was long to where it reached the middle of her back. Her body was well-toned, smooth, thin stomach which was topped with shapely legs. This was also emphasized by C. Bordeline D-cup breasts. She wore a blue outfit that came to her knees while she wore black kitten-heeled shoes. Her face was heart-shaped as a band covered the right side of her face. Her eyes, oh those eyes! A lovely emerald green that you could lose yourself in. She very much had a powerful crush on the young man ever since she witnessed his testament for never giving up. As well, he stood up to a thug who wanted to steal her necklace and sell it for money. She fell in love with him ever since then. But she was too afraid to confess her love for him. She was afraid to the fact that he may shoot her down and laugh at her. Deciding to follow him like she had always done, she followed him to the ruins of the old village that was once there, close to the bones of the demon that attacked the coast. Hiding behind a tree, she found him there, doing some one-handed handstand push-ups. She marveled at his resilience to never give up no matter what. Blushing hard as she watched him, she soon found she had lost track of time. It was late afternoon, and she was to help with making the food. Naruto himself found it was late afternoon, and finished off his training. There he made his way back to the church. Walking through the halls of the church, Naruto made his way to his room. There he just lay as the sounds of people enjoying the food downstairs echoed through the building. Hearing his own stomach growl, he turned over and looked to the moon as it illuminated the sky in his room. Hearing a knock on the door, Naruto turned as the door opened to reveal Mei standing there with a plate of bread and a glass of water on a wooden tray. She also was sporting a massive blush as she stood there looking at Naruto. "Thought you wanted something to eat," she stated as she walked over to Naruto and laid the food down for him. "Thank you, Mei," said Naruto as he dug in and ate. Mei just looked on as Naruto ate the food given to him. To her, Naruto was everything she wanted in a man. He was hardworking, dedicated, and headstrong. She liked that. He didn't like it when things were handed to people because of status. He found the idea of earning things more enjoyable. Once he was done, Naruto thanked her for it before she took the empty tray away. Returning back to be laying on his bed, Naruto let a sigh escape his lips as he gazed at the sky. "I'll get my own grimoire tomorrow and show them I am no failure," he said to himself as he went to sleep. The next day, every 15-year-old child made their way to the large column where they would get their own grimoire and be able to use magic more effectively. Naruto's heart raced as he stood there as the grimoires floated about as they found their ideal masters. Mei found she was given a grimoire that specialized in healing. She was so ecstatic that she looked over to everyone who had just received a grimoire. But when her eyes landed on Naruto, she soon felt a sharp pain in her chest. Naruto had yet to receive one. He stood there, completely anxious to receive his grimoire. All that the wizard said was better luck next time, while Sasuke stood there with a grimoire with a 4-leaf clover on the cover. The same type of one that the Magic Emperor used fighting the demon long ago. Looking to Naruto before walking past him, he snickered as he stopped behind Naruto. "I'll achieve your dream for you. Then I'll hire you as a slave for myself." He chuckled as he walked away while everyone planned something amazing for those who got a grimoire. Might just stood there as Naruto hung his head in defeat. His hands made into fists as he shook with the pain of not being with magic. Storming away, he went to clear his thoughts on the matter. "Oh Naruto, how are you gonna take this?" asked Mei with a saddened expression. "With Naruto. By the bones of the demon." Shouting as hard as he could while he threw whatever was around him at the bones of the demon, he let all the pain he had inside out. Tears streamed down his face as he let loose with the rage he had. "Is this a joke to you?" "Huh!" he spat, looking to the sky. "I trained day in and day out. I worked harder than anyone else. I should have received one. So why didn't I? Is it always about others and not me? Am I just that worthless?" Slamming his foot on the ground, he soon found himself falling as the rocks beneath his feet gave way, and with him falling down. Landing on his back and hitting the back of his head really hard, he found himself knocked out as he lay there, unconscious. After a few minutes, he slowly stirred awake as he looked about while rubbing the back of his head. Looking up to find the hole he fell through at least 50 feet in the air. Clicking his tongue and finding a way out, he slowly got to his feet. Naruto found there was only one way through. By moving forward, looking around as he delved further, Naruto found the cave walls turn into that of what seemed to be a tomb walls. Pillars with various seals littered the walls, while he soon felt his skin crawl as a nasty tingling sensation ran up and down his spine, making the hairs at the back of his neck stand on end. Whatever it wasn't the cold of the cave, oh no. It was something more evil. Stopping before a massive stone door, Naruto ran his hands along the cold surface of the structure, marveling at the sheer size and stature of the doors. But sliding his hand across, Naruto's hand hit a small type of button. Choosing to press it as curiosity got the better of him, he soon heard a clicking sound with the doors slowly parting to reveal a type of coffin with a pedestal behind the coffin. But what rested on the pedestal was what intrigued him. Walking over to the pedestal, Naruto found it to be a grimoire, but the book was defying gravity as it levitated on the platform, while a dull hum came off his as pure purple-black energy seeped off it. It gave a powerful, menacing vibe off it while he stared at the book. The book itself was pure black with what looked to be a type of strange insignia inscribed on the cover in the middle with a few others all over the book. And Mark of the Beast from Black Ops 3 Shadows of Evil and Chronorium book as well from Black Ops 3 Zombies. The book was locked up tight with a lock on the part of the pages, proving that the contents could never be opened no matter what. Gulping down as Naruto reached over to the book, hoping to what would happen should he touch the grimoire. But when his hand made contact with the book, Naruto soon felt a sharp paining feeling in his hand as he found something being burned onto his hand, while what looked to be a tendril of purple-black energy was inscribing it on his hand. The book in question was right now suspended high in the air, as the lock swung open along with the cover as the pages flew open. Shutting one eye closed as he soon dropped to his one knee as he scrunched one eye shut as the pages stopped turning and landing relatively in the middle. Looking to his hand, Naruto found the same mark that was on the cover of the book now on his hand, while what looked to be searing hot skin bordered around the mark. The grimoire slammed shut and floated down to Naruto while Naruto himself looked puzzled. The power of the blood god shall be yours. And voice from the one mission you do in Dawn of War, Dark Crusade. Boomed a voice from the tomb. Blood god? What is going on? Said Naruto to himself before he soon passed out. Slowly opening his eyes, Naruto found himself in a white abyss. Looking about and assessing himself, he found himself still as he was once. But when he looked up, he found a man clothed in full black as he stood there with his back to Naruto as the bottom of his jacket looked to be like fire the way it moved. It moved about as if a simple breeze was passing by. Walking over to the man, Naruto soon stopped in his tracks when the man spoke. You bear the mark of the blood god now. You are the new user of the black grimoire, said the man, not even bothering to turn around. What? I don't even know what this blood god is. Nor the black grimoire, spat Naruto, irritated on being in the dark about this. The blood god is the only god apart from his brother, the god of life, to have given mortals like us the power of magic, or as they call, dragon's breath. The blood god was sick of his brother gaining all the credit for being the perfect god there was in heaven. So he too went down to the human world and gave life to his own creation. And no, it's not the demon that attacked us all those years ago. He gave life to the black grimoire, the very object of pure dark magic. You may commonly know it as necromancy. This form of power is extremely powerful, trailed the man as Naruto thrusted a hand into the air as the sounds of cheer escaped his lips. Yeah. I finally have my own grimoire. And it is wicked strong. I can be the most powerfulest person ever. Hell with this power, I can even be Magic Emperor no problem. Cheered Naruto before a cold sensation washed over him, causing him to stop cheering for himself. I wasn't finished, you little brat, spat the man. Yes, it is extremely powerful. But all powers come at a price. You must, and I mean must, give a blood sacrifice to the blood god. By using the black grimoire, you send the person's soul into the abyss where the blood god now resides. The blood is then pulled from the corpse and a new spell for you is unlocked from the blood making contact with the pages. The sacrifice must be human and done on every new moon. Should you not present a sacrifice, you will have a piece of your life taken from you. It's not a nice exchange, but you must provide something for compensation should a sacrifice not be presented. But new spells are unlocked through the blood of those you've killed. Just with every new moon, an even stronger spell is given. Also remember, some spells will require more blood to gain. And no, you can't use your own blood as you're now contracted to the blood god. When you open the book, you will not find any spells. But you can unlock one spell by offering something basic. Being as you are now, with you being contracted to the Black Grimoire, you can use only one ability. Lesser Summon, said the man as Naruto was blinded by a white light. Make the most of this, young necromancer, and bring glory and honor to the blood god. Echoed the man's voice as Naruto slowly stirred awake to find himself back in his body in the cave, the grimoire still hovering beside him. Slowly getting to his feet with the grimoire too floating up along with him, Naruto held out his hand and watched in amazement as the lock unlocked with the pages unfurled and showed multiple blank pages. Once the pages stopped turning, right at the top of the left pages, a spell burned itself onto the pages as Naruto looked on with such awe. Once the words were finished being burned on the page, he read out the spell written on S'evocare anime. In summon soul in Latin. Spoke Naruto, feeling power deep within his mind yanking harder and harder when previously there was nothing. He got an idea. Placing a hand to be over the book but not directly touching the book itself, he soon felt the yanking sensation get stronger than ever. S'evocare anime, he commanded, and right before him, at his sides and behind him, emerged 4 wisps. The wisps looked more to be like little balls of purple light as they floated before their master. Looking to the seals, Naruto found extremely intricate seals on the ground that he had never seen before. They looked so complex that not even the most advanced magic user could decipher at all. The finished mark of the ritual circle for the Void Bow under Eisendrake for Black Ops 3 to get an idea for the summoning circle for the wisps. Looking in the corner of his eye, Naruto pointed at a statue and he was completely blown away as the statue was now nothing but dust as one of the wisps sent a powerful small beam of dark magic at the statue. Marveled by the sheer power these things held, Naruto withdrew his hand from the grimoire with the book closing and the wisps vanishing in small gushes of purple fire with the summoning circles dying out. This was amazing. With this book, Naruto was sure to be recognized by the others. Watching as a doorway slowly opened up, he sprinted to it, and soon found himself in a wooded area while he was standing in what looked to be a rock with a tree on top of it. It was late at night, which meant dinner was most likely served by now. Sprinting as fast as he could to the church, Naruto took off with so much enthusiasm. When he made it to the door, he threw it open to find it to be exactly dinner time. Thrusting out his hand with his grimoire in his hands, Naruto puffed out his chest as everyone looked on. Check it out. My own grimoire, he chimed with admiration, but this was met with a huge amount of laughter from everyone. In that singular moment, all of Naruto's courage vanished from his being as the laughter got to him. Sasuke soon rose from his seat as he wiped his eyes from the laughter. You really think you can use magic now? Asked Sasuke as he snatched the grimoire away from Naruto. Give that back, shouted Mei, standing up for the man she had a crush on. This doesn't concern you, spat Sasuke, glaring at Mei. I can use magic now, said Naruto, standing firm in what he knew. I don't believe you. If you can, open it, said Sasuke, handing the book back after finding that he couldn't open the book. Fine, said Naruto as he held his hand over the book, and then stretched his hand out as the book floated to be in front of his outstretched hand as the lock burst open with pages turning to the only spell in the book. Lesser Summon. Looking at the book, Sasuke howled with laughter at what he was seeing. Sure, the whole thing about Naruto now having magic was a bit of a surprise and all, but when Sasuke looked at the pages, was the only thing he could laugh about. You only have one spell, cackled Sasuke, causing the other teens to laugh as hard. You certainly are weak, howled one of the teens. I'm not weak, snapped Naruto. You're a wizard with only one spell. What is it? Make thy not a loser? Cracked another, causing everyone to howl even louder. Naruto just stood there, gritting his teeth as he clenched his fists. This was the final straw. The final straw that broke the camel's back. But as he seethed with rage, he soon heard a dark voice boom in his head. Let them have a taste of the necromancer's power. Let them taste your new strength. The voice bellowed as the mark on Naruto's hand burned a purple along with the spell. I curse you all. S'evocare anime, cried Naruto as summoning circles formed around Naruto with wisps coming up from the summoning circles. What is that? A cute little fairy? Snorted Sasuke, still laughing. You won't be laughing for long, said Naruto as he pointed to Sasuke. All it took was a near miss with a powerful beam that completely blew away the back of the church to get them to shut up. Each and every one of them stood there as Naruto looked on at them with a cold death stare. Mei herself was completely impressed at what she had just seen. Naruto had just demonstrated just how strong his grimoire and magic was compared to theirs. Not even Sasuke's grimoire and magic contained that amount of firepower. And Naruto. Why, you know I was just joking, right? I mean, we're buds, right? Said Sasuke in a shaky voice as he looked to Naruto, who had zero form of emotion on his face. Yeah. You were joking. Like how you locked me in my room for 3 days without getting food or water. Like how you always told the sister and father that I was the one who stole stuff and whatnot, when it was really you. And like how you always mocked me for being not even able to cast a single spell. Yes, sure, those were all jokes to you. But for me, it was like hell. But looks like the roles are reversed for once, snarled Naruto as he slowly raised a finger to point at Sasuke, only to have the father and sister of the church come into the scene and freeze in fear. Oh my! What is this power? Asked the father, looking to Naruto. We don't know. We were just playing and then he snapped, said one of the teens. I've never seen such destructive powers. It is completely incredible. Yet it's so dark. So evil, said the sister as she shook in fear. But we're friends, right? Said Sasuke. Yeah, sure. We can be friends. Give me your blood and let me use you as a sacrifice for the blood god. He will be pleased to have a sacrifice such as yourself, said Naruto, now shaking a bit from the amount on how much he was gonna enjoy killing Sasuke. This of course made everyone get creeped out beyond note. I mean, this was Naruto. The very man who never gave up on anything. But they should have seen this coming. After all, he was the center for everything wrong. But something clicked in the father's mind. Oh no, he said, gaining some of the teens' and sisters' attention. What is it, father? Asked the sister. Naruto mentioned the blood god. This is not good. It means Naruto has made a covenant with the god of dark magic, the very maker of necromancy. He said, knowing what this means. But how can that be? You said that long ago they killed all people who were practitioners in the dark arts, as well as burned the black grimoires, said the sister. It looks like we have missed one. And this is the very one we may have missed, said the father as he sprinted and got between Sasuke and Naruto. Stop this now, he cried. Why? So you can treat me like a dog again? If you want to get roasted, old man, then be my guest, spat Naruto as he got ready to end it all. A wicked evil smile crept upon Naruto's lips as he slowly brought out his index finger on his now outstretched hand. But he was soon stopped when Mei embraced Naruto. Shocked by this, Naruto lowered his hand as his grimoire closed with a slam and the lock closing with the book dropping to the floor. Don't do this. You would never be able to go back should you kill someone, said Mei, starting up with tears. It's part of the contract I made. I have to give one human sacrifice every new moon to the blood god. If I don't, a part of my life is gone as payment, said Naruto. But why do this? Asked the sister, with Naruto shooting a look. I never did this. You drove me to do this. If I recall. Not once did you believe my side of the story. You always took Sasuke's side. Not mine. So what do I care if a few souls get fed to a dark god? Spat Naruto. We understand this. And we are sorry, said the father, with Naruto laughing extremely dark from this. Sorry? Doesn't even cut it on what I've been through. I should set this place ablaze after what I've been through, said Naruto, getting ready to send this place sky high, but stopped and broke from Mei, who was hugging him. But all things will be done in good time. Enjoy your time while you still have it. 'Cause trust me, when I come back, this place will be nothing but ashes by the time I'm done with it, spat Naruto before turning to Naruto and placing his hands on Mei's shoulders before looking to her with a smile of gentleness. I thank you for what you've done for me, said Naruto as Mei smiled to him. It was no big a deal. I mean, I do love you, she said before slamming her hands over her mouth. Crap, she couldn't believe she just said that out loud. This of course was met with shock as Naruto stood there dumbfounded. But he soon relaxed his facial expression before bringing her into a hug. Wait for me. I will come back for you, said Naruto before walking away. I'll be waiting for you, she said as she watched him walk off with his grimoire in his hands. It had been 6 years since Naruto left the church with the black grimoire in his hands. Having demonstrated such amazing and destructive power left such an impression on the minds of those who witnessed it. The church sent word to the capital to tell them of such a development. They responded by increasing the amount of magic knights, even sending a few to look after the church. The sheer thought of having a black grimoire running about was a serious cause to be alarmed. In the 6 years of Naruto's absence, Mei had grown into a fine young woman. She was envied among most of the women for her figure, and admired by the men, and some women of the land. A prince from a distant land once came to the kingdom, and asked Mei's hand in marriage. Mei declined his offer and stated she was already taken by another. Not much had changed on her apart from her hair now reaching her knees, and her bust size had increased to a solid E-cup. She worked in the royal court as a healer to the king and queen, and she was damned good at her job. In her free time she would just wonder how the man she loved was doing. All alone out there, Sasuke didn't take the humiliation of having a dead last like Naruto gain so much more power than he could ever gain that very well. The events of that night still burned and haunted his mind. He was now a captain in the Magic Knight Order, and was already being promoted to commander soon. His victories were legendary, as he would win every fight they were ever faced with, but he still kept himself headstrong on the matter of ending Naruto for making him look bad. That was certain. Unknown location. In a severely damaged castle that was being repaired by what could be people, over by the waters on the south of the empire, rested a being shrouded in absolute mystery. His face covered by the hood of his cloak as he sat upon a damaged throne, his head resting on his arm as he sat there, a grin plastering his features as a second person came into the scene from a door that was still in pristine condition. This woman had long black hair, and beautiful slitted yellow eyes. Her outfit was pure white with a necklace around her neck that looked to be a spider's web. Her arms were covered by long gloves and the sides of her dress were cut to show off her shapely thighs. At her waist were a pair of jet black feathered wings. The forces are ready to march upon your orders, my liege, she said, only to have the man sitting on the throne wave his hand, beckoning for her to come over to him. She made her way over to the man, and soon found herself grabbed at her waist and pulled to be sitting on his lap. She gasped in surprise by the sudden grab but welcomed it nonetheless. Excellent news, Albedo. How have the warrior bunnies been adapting to their new home? Asked the man. They've adapted well, my liege. Lady Taiyo has stated on numerous occasions that she cannot thank you enough for saving her people when they were being threatened on being overrun, said Albedo, only to have the man smile. Well, she sure proved her loyalty to me when she offered up her own body. Ensure they are ready to move when I give the signal, said the man, getting up with Albedo climbing off his lap. As you wish, my liege, she said with a bow. Oh, and Albedo, later on, we're having another child, said Naruto, making Albedo blush a deep red. As you command, my liege. My heart and body are yours, she said with a purr as Naruto left through a door behind the throne. Walking along the passageway, making his way to his chambers, the man simply smiled as he walked along the halls. It had been 6 years since this started. Since they lit the fuse that would be their downfall. 6 years since he embarked on this journey to find just what it means to hold incredible power. And 6 years since he began creating an army of loyal fighters. Be it through diplomacy or dictatorship, he ensured where they fell in line. But there were a few exceptions he made. Like with Albedo. When he killed the man who ruled this castle with little hassle, he found her being used by the guards as a cum dump. After he murdered the guards and then resurrected them as the undead, he offered to keep her safe and that she should no longer fear being used like that ever again. The only condition was for her to bow down and offer her life to the blood god when she dies. His sweet words won her over easily, and she offered her soul to the blood god then and there. He treated her just as he said. She loved him every bit as much as she could find the time. She was placed as head of the undead army that he had summoned and even commanded a few people that raised their swords in his name. She and Naruto had a son they named Samo, who very much enjoyed enticing people into deals that favored him and left the person regretting the choice. Albedo, Taiyo and him had sex a few times, and she thoroughly enjoyed the thrills of giving oneself willingly instead of being ravaged against one's will. Throwing open the doors to his chambers, the man walked in as 3 maids who were standing beside the door bowed to their master as the man walked to the bed in the center of the room. Laying on the bed was a woman who was fast asleep. Her snow-white hair flowed over her shapely body while 2 white bunny ears rested upon her head. Carefully sitting on the bed, he smiled as he ran a hand over her smooth skin, electing a soft moan from her lips as she stirred awake. Gazing over to him, she smiled to him as she got into a sitting position, while using the blankets to cover her amazing and naked body. Naruto. Is it time already? She asked as Naruto ran a loving hand over her cheek, causing her to moan into the feeling as she pushed her head into his hand. It is. We march to the capital. But we must prepare our soldiers, said Naruto. But isn't that why you have Albedo? You put her in charge of ensuring and inspiring fierce loyalty in our soldiers, said Taiyo as Naruto chuckled. Taiyo, if there is one thing I told you, it was that you have to be unpredictable, said Naruto as Taiyo blushed. I guess you have a point, said Taiyo, slowly getting out of bed, but soon found Naruto by her side, holding a hand to help her along. I don't want you to push yourself. Not after the fact that you said you were pregnant again, said Naruto with Taiyo giggling. My dearest Naruto, if I was in pain, you'd be the first to know, said Taiyo with Naruto nodding his head. I would. But please, I don't want our child to be put into stress while you're carrying him, said Naruto with Taiyo placing a hand on his cheek. He'll make a fine sorcerer, just like his father, she said with a smile. And what of our daughter? Asked Naruto with Taiyo giggling slightly, as menacing as her father. Little Mio has been using dark magic around the castle and is still using such magic in a reckless manner, replied Taiyo with Naruto chuckling at her response. She will soon learn what it exactly means to control such magic, stated Naruto with Taiyo nodding at what he said. So what's happening tonight? Asked Taiyo with Naruto looking out to the window. It's a new moon tonight, replied Naruto with Taiyo looking to the mark on his hand that had a dim glow to it. Has the blood god given you any idea on the next sacrifice? Asked Taiyo with Naruto nodding his head as he turned to face her. He has. The new sacrifice will be presented to him no matter what, said Naruto. He will be satisfied with your offering, as he always has, said Taiyo with Naruto nodding his head as he agreed with her. As they conversed with one another, another of the members of Naruto's royal court burst through the doors and bowed to her master. This woman had long flowing brown hair that became slightly curly toward the end, with one bang covering the right of her face. Much like how Naruto remembered Mei, her eyes however were a beautiful hazel color, and her clothing was majorly purple. And Naruto had to admit one thing. She was quite the amazing figure. Almost goddess level. Your Highness, Lady Enigma has returned from battle. She awaits you in the throne room, she replied. Thank you, said Naruto with her excusing herself. Enigma sure enjoys killing in your name, said Taiyo with Naruto agreeing with her, as he squeezed her ass making her squeak in delight. She did after all pledge her loyalty to me when I defeated her very easily, stated Naruto as Taiyo simply nodded. After all, you are the one who is the last dark magic user, said Taiyo with Naruto smiling wickedly to her. Soon I won't be the last, said Naruto with Taiyo cocking her head to the side. What do you mean? She asked. All in good time, my dear. All in good time, chirped Naruto before walking out his chamber, leaving Taiyo to her own devices. Walking down the passageway with the woman trailing him, he soon stopped and turned to her and planted a massive kiss on her lips. She was taken back by a serious smile, but soon kissed him back as her hands grabbed the back of his head and drew him close, breaking from the kiss with a trail of saliva connecting them still. Naruto smiled as he gazed at the dazed look on her face. Whiz. You're too cute for me, said Naruto making her blush hard. My lord. You shouldn't say such things to someone who serves you, said Wiz as Naruto laid a finger on her lips. SHHHHHH. You shouldn't talk about trivial things like that. Here, I am ruler. I can do what I want," said Naruto as he ran his fingers across her skin, making her shiver at his cool touch. "I see your point," said Wiz as she allowed the touch of her ruler and lover. Wiz was surprisingly a gift to Naruto. A nobleman who wished to gain an audience with Naruto used his own daughter as a gift to win Naruto's favor. But the nobleman was short-sighted and didn't realize he was dealing with powers beyond his own control. He demanded that Naruto was to make him the lord of his country, even though he was high enough in the Peking order. Naruto laughed in his face and took his soul then and there. Wiz was given the opportunity to leave and return to her home. She point-blank refused and asked to be Naruto's servant. She got her wish, but was made captain of her own units. The Lich unit was what they were called. Powerful undead forces who were very much wizards who were at the apex of magic, for her to command as she saw fit. She was also given her own spot on Naruto's elite guard. The Harbingers was what they were called. The Harbingers were an elite guard unit who only answered to their master. Albedo, Taiyo, Wiz and Enigma were all part of the Harbingers, but there were still more. Only on rare occasions did they assemble to have a summit. But that was only when there was a dire need, and that was a very rare chance. Wiz was also the last among the women to fall in love with Naruto. She became his lover 9 months prior to becoming part of the Harbingers. She hadn't fallen pregnant yet, but she was hoping she would. Pushing the massive doors to the throne room open, Naruto made his way to his throne as a woman with midnight black hair, hungry red eyes and an amazing figure bowed before her master. She wore some rather revealing clothes while a trench coat occupied her shoulders. A hat resting on her head which was also black much like her other clothes. Similar to that of a Western get-up. Enigma. "I trust you were successful in getting the item I needed," stated Naruto with Enigma looking to Naruto and nodding her head as she reached into her pocket. "Yes, my lord," she stated, pulling out a red crystal that was in the form of a flower. "The Defiler's blood is yours now." Ah, the Defiler's blood. A lost relic from the witch hunts. Ever since Naruto made the pact with the blood god, he had been searching all his life for relics of the past that survived the purge. His goal was simple. But in the long run, he was aiming to set the blood god free. In exchange for letting the blood god free, Naruto will be given the power to bend the very fabrics of time and space, to completely destroy the world, or recreate it to how he saw fit. Or simply go back in time. But in order to do that, he had to gain relics of dark magic as a conduit to channel his power. So far he had only 2. The Black Grimoire, and now the Defiler's blood. But just as they were about to continue with Naruto congratulating Enigma for getting such a powerful item, the doors flew open with a purple blur slamming into Naruto followed by a very girlish scream. "Lord Naruto, I missed you," said the woman now in Naruto's arms. Looking down, Naruto found Kismetit. A woman Naruto found to be a very powerful contradiction. While appearing to be a perfect innocent woman who was so cute she seemed to be an angel, she was the complete opposite on the inside. Her angelic features were eclipsed by the darkness that lurked within her heart. She came to be like this when she found a piece of an old grimoire in her father's study. Deciding to see what it would do, she chanted the only spell on the page. Too bad the spell was used to permanently change her heart forever. Gone was her good and caring nature, only to be replaced by one of stone-cold heartless nothing. She met Naruto when she was exiled from her home for setting a man on fire while he was still alive and trying to summon demons from the netherworld. Naruto trained her in the ways of the dark arts. She was very proficient in the use of curses. Her favorite type of curse was one which rots the skin of her foes, making them die a painful and slow death, together with the curse to make a person not go into the sun, and she was extremely powerful, earning her the name, the Cursed. She was also one of the Harbingers, and she took her job seriously. She wasn't given a unit as she preferred to work alone. Plus, the less people she had with her on assignments from Naruto, the better. After all, an assassin can't work when there is someone else in the way. As for Enigma, she was a living weapon that escaped her captors. Her elven appearance and evil red eyes was a side effect of her change. She went everywhere and challenged the strongest there was to a duel, using herself as the prize every time. And she won every time. But that changed when she met Naruto. Challenging him like all the others before him, she gave herself as the prize, only to lose to Naruto. Naruto took her in and gave her everything she wanted. And in return, she'd become an agent for the blood god. She agreed to it, and soon became one of the harbingers. She was nicknamed Calamity. Wherever she went, towns were razed to the ground, people killed, and death soon followed. Kismetit. As much as I'd like to have some cuddle time with you, I am busy at the moment, said Naruto, looking to Kismetit. I see. But I'd very much like to start on that family you agreed to have with me, said Kismetit as she let the sleeve of her dress fall from her shoulders, giving Naruto an eyeful of her chest. I see. How about after I give the sacrifice to the blood god? Enigma. You are to rest up. Tomorrow, you'll be heading to secure our western border. Albedo will be accompanying you, said Naruto, with Enigma bowing to Naruto. Of course, my liege, she said as she got up. Despite being absolutely flawless in her actions and orders, Enigma was very much in love with Naruto. They had sex a few times, and had given birth to his child. A son they named Haruhiko, but she wanted to expand on that family. She was just hoping that she end up pregnant soon. She saw Taiyo as a rival. Both of them wanted to have a big family with Naruto, and that soon turned into a serious debate on who would have the biggest family with Naruto. But she wasn't worried about it. She knew her time would come to have that next child with Naruto. She just prayed it would be soon. Once Enigma was gone, Naruto slowly got to his feet as he looked at the crystal in his hands. Smiling as he called for a maid to put the item in the vaults, Naruto made his way to where the next sacrifice would be. He'd very much be thrilled to see what his next spell was going to be. The blood god would always ensure he had the most strongest spells. After all, Naruto was destined to release him. Sitting on his throne as he cycled through the spells he had, Naruto wondered just how much more powerful he'd become. He was already incredibly strong, where he could decimate an entire army battalion like it was nothing. His elite guard unit, the Harbingers, were just one notch below him, slouching in his throne as his grimoire slammed shut with the lock closing and the book just hovering there. Naruto wondered just how he'd go about freeing an imprisoned god. Yes, it was clear within his head that he needed relics of the witch hunt that survived to help channel and amplify his powers to their maximum limits. But once he had attained full power, what then? He'd technically be a god among mortals. One who would have absolute authority over all he saw, all things belonging to him. He'd be able to revive those who fell. All previous necromancers who were slaughtered in the witch hunts. He'd be able to fully understand everything there was to everything. Yes, that sounded like a good idea. After all, it was all just business. Getting up from his throne as he walked over to Kismetit's chambers, he knocked on the door only to hear her telling him to enter. Pushing the doors open, he came face to face with a captured fool. No doubt a person who was a scout for some bandits. Looking at Kismetit without a shred of emotion for the man tied up and kneeling before Kismetit, who was sitting on the bed cycling through the various curses she had. She recently told Naruto she was working on a new curse that would cause a large amount of pain to the person periodically, driving them insane from the amount of pain they'd receive. This was also another thing Naruto had to admit about Kismetit. Despite being a real trump card, she also proved to be quite the sadist. She even admitted that she was one to begin with. Naruto was completely fine with that. Sorry, Lord Naruto. We'll be with you in just a moment, said Kismetit as she went through her curses. Take your time. We've still got plenty of time, said Naruto as he folded his arms as he leaned against the door. Ah, here it is, said Kismetit as she pulled the nose she was looking for out from the pile on her bed. Please, don't kill me. I don't want to die. Please. I'll do everything you want, said the bandit as tears streamed down his cheeks. You made that mistake of trespassing, said Kismetit as she began to chant. A powerful summoning circle formed under the bandit, and soon he began to cry out in pain before stopping for a few seconds, and the crying out in pain again. Looking to the position of the sun only to find it setting already, Naruto walked over to the tortured soul and killed him then and there, making Kismetit whine at how her fun was stopped. Oh, come on, Lord Naruto. I was about to reach my climax, she said as she looked at him with a pout. I'll find another soul for you to play with. Right now, we must get moving. The blood god is waiting for his next meal, said Naruto with Kismetit nodding in understanding. Okay. I'll help, said Kismetit getting off her bed and grabbing some cursed talismans and putting them away from view. Excellent. 'Cause you haven't been there with me for a new moon sacrifice. This will be your first, said Naruto with Kismetit nodding her head. Oh, most definitely. Enigma and Taiyo said that a spectral being that resembles the blood god shows up just before the blood is turned into a new spell for you to use, stated Kismetit with Naruto nodding his head. Correct. Now let's go, said Naruto with the doors to the stables opening and Naruto heading out with Kismetit riding alongside him, the mark on Naruto's hand glowing slightly more brighter. Empire. Capital. Mei sat on her seat by the king and queen. Thanks to her hard work, she was given her own seat. She enjoyed the seat, but sometimes she wondered if this was truly where she belonged, if she truly was meant to be here at all. She often found herself looking at the seat the queen and king sat on, and would just wonder if that was where she was meant to be. But her musings were soon cut short when a man in shredded clothing burst through the doors of the throne room and threw himself before the king and queen's feet. Please, your highness. I beg for your aid. I'm being hunted, he said with his head low to the ground. The king got to his feet and slowly walked down to the man who was trembling in fear. Getting onto his haunches as he placed a hand on the man's shoulder, he watched as the man looked into the eyes of the king. Why are you being hunted? Asked the king. I saw his face. I saw it, said the man trembling even more. You saw his face? Whose face? Asked the king. Death. I saw the face of death. We were just enjoying our time, celebrating the harvest. But soon, the plants turned black and turned to ash. The sky darkened and thunder clapped above us. 2 people were seen on the horizon. One person being that of a man. The other, a female. Both were clothed in black. And both descended on us without mercy. They slaughtered everyone they saw. I hid as best I could. But the worst happened when the very people he slaughtered were resurrected and sent away. The male said it was a wonderful hunt, and the blood god would be pleased with the one that got away, said the man as tears flowed down his cheeks. Mei's eyes widened at this. The mere mention from this guy about the blood god was a sure sign that it was the man she loved. Only one person would say such a thing about the blood god, and that person was Naruto. Relax, you'll be fine, said the king. We'll keep you protected in the dungeon. 2 magic knights will keep you safe there. Don't worry. We'll ensure you are protected. Thank you, my king, said the man as he was escorted away with Mei excusing herself. Making it to her chambers, she closed the door and leaned against her dresser. Sweat began to bead down her brow. Her breathing became erratic. Hearing that the man would be hunted was a sure sign that Naruto was coming. Oh, Naruto. I'd be able to see you again, she said to herself as she clutched her chest. I'd finally be able to hold you again. To be in your arms. She couldn't remember the last time she saw Naruto. Sure, it was only 6 years, but faces fade out of memory and are soon forgotten. She didn't like that. She did everything she could to keep the memory fresh within her mind. Deciding to see him, she prepared for what was to happen. She also ensured to leave her grimoire behind, with Naruto. Late at night, making it to the outside walls of the palace while a thick layer of fog hung in the air, conjured up by Naruto to mask their presence, they made their way. Following the burning bright light of Naruto's mark, the more brighter it got, the more closer they were to their target. Spotting a guard look at the floating thing before him, he soon found himself grabbed at the face by Naruto. Invocation, Anima Ignis. An invocation, Soul Fire. Called Naruto, and the mark on his hand flashed a purple color before going back to just glowing purple. The guard burst into blue hot flames as his cries pierced through the night, but he was quickly silenced when Naruto covered his mouth. Nothing was left of the guard but a few scorch marks on the floor. No skeleton, no nothing. Marching down the stairs while finding less and less guards were stationed here, they found the man they were after in the furthest cell. and the fog Naruto had summoned up was now losing effectiveness. Looking to Kismetit, he nodded to her as she smiled as she pulled down a sleeve of her clothing. "Don't worry, Lord Naruto," she cooed into his ear before giving his cheek a kiss. "I'll get rid of those pests for you," slowly walking out from behind cover in a very sultry manner, as she swayed her hips. Kismetit leaned against the wall, while ensuring to use every piece of her body to tease the guards there. "Hello, boys," she purred as she ran a hand across her chest. "Wanna have some fun with me?" Like moths drawn to a flame, the magic knights followed Kismetit only to find themselves kind of a piece of paper. One each for them. Being told by Kismetit they were special talismans to make them more bigger downstairs, they held on to them for dear life. But were soon tricked, and found themselves paralyzed. Laughing rather sinister-like, Kismetit dragged the two paralyses knights out from the shadows and threw Naruto the keys to the cell as she fixed up her clothes. "The only one I act like a slut to is Lord Naruto," she chimed to the two paralyzed men on the floor. The man in the cell looked up and soon was trembling in fear as he gazed into the cold eyes of Naruto, who already had his grimoire opened and was also radiating power at the same time. "Please, I beg you, don't kill me," he begged as he clasped his hands in prayer only for Naruto to laugh. "Prayers won't help you now. Don't you worry, little man. The blood god rewards those who do his bidding. And he will very much reward me here," said Naruto as his eyes turned full black with his grimoire breaking apart with the pages flying around him. As Naruto chanted, chained in hands from the floors, walls and ceiling, grabbed the man and suspended him into the air as the man screamed and begged to be spared. For Kismetit, this was a sight to see. Not only was she witnessing the complete soul-wrenching of an individual, she was also witnessing the complete power of Naruto, who was about to rip a soul from a body, cast everything in black dye, as the moon swallows the sun and bathes all in eternal darkness. "Ferdam meme. And soul steel," finished Naruto as the man cried out in pain as he found the chains and arms ripping him to death. And rip him they did as his body exploded with blood going everywhere with a black ring with a ruby dropped to the ground, the blood of the victim coming together and forming a new spell on one of the pages before coming together to reform the grimoire. A click was heard and the grimoire dropped into Naruto's hands as a purple spectrum was seen before Naruto. Naruto was instantly on his knees with Kismetit following his lead, smiling at how the blood god was happy with the sacrifice he had received. Naruto looked over to Kismetit, who was currently looking at the two magic knights that had been paralyzed like they were, merely shaking his head at how she was already having sadistic thoughts on how to have fun with them. They soon heard footsteps down the stairs. Casting his fog spell, Naruto got ready to attack at the person who would be dumb enough to cross his path. But he was never expecting the person to know his name, or the fact that the person was Mei. "Naruto? Where are you?" she called as she walked through the fog. "I'll kill this whelp for you, my lord," said Kismetit only to be grabbed by Naruto, who dispelled the spell. "What are you doing?" stated Kismetit. "Silence. This woman is not my enemy," said Naruto, stepping out from cover for Mei to see him. "She is the woman who loves me." "Is that really you, Naruto?" she asked with Naruto nodding his head. "It is Mei," said Naruto as he approached Mei only to have her embrace him as she squeezed the life out of him in fear that he'd leave her. "At last. I'm with you once more," stated Mei, sounding to be desperate, and now having tears run down her cheeks. "You're here." "I'm here," said Naruto as he hugged her back, much to her surprise and pleasure. After they broke from the hug, Mei turned to find Kismetit, who did not look all that happy. For Kismetit, this was a serious compromise. For all she knew, this woman could very much snitch to the king and queen that Naruto was the one who was killing everything. But she was surprised when Mei smiled to her. "Nice to meet you." "Who might you be?" asked Mei. "The cursed," responded Kismetit, only to be looked at by Naruto. "Her name is Kismetit, one of the harbingers," replied Naruto as Mei nodded her head. "I see. But I'm not gonna snitch on you. After all, this is something you have to do," said Mei, with Naruto smiling to her as he ran his hand through her auburn long hair, with Mei becoming rigid from his touch. "You've changed," said Naruto, with Mei looking to him with a smile. "So have you," You seem more powerful than that night, said Mei with Naruto nodding his head. I can imagine as to how strong the ripples have become from the time I left to now, said Naruto. As much as I enjoy talking with you, don't you have to make yourself scarce? I reckon many magic knights felt your power, said Mei with Naruto nodding his head and looking to Kismetit. Understood. I see you soon, said Naruto as he and Kismetit vanished from sight. It was good seeing you. Hopefully I can be with you again soon, said Mei as she went back to her room. The next morning, slowly opening his eyes to find not only Kismetit, but Enigma and Albedo in bed with him. A maid slowly opened the doors to Naruto's chambers as the maid walked over to him. Sorry to disturb you, my lord, but Lady Senna has returned with information for you, said the maid with Naruto slowly crawling out from under the girls. I see. Thank you for telling me. Tell Senna I will be there soon, said Naruto with the maid leaving. Once Naruto was dressed, he headed to the throne room where he found Senna. Now, Senna's father was an avid worshipper to the king and queen. He would do everything possible to try and stay in the king's good books, even though he was. Senna didn't like such a lifestyle with her family always getting what they wanted, so she rebelled and ran away from home. On the third day when she ran from home, she met Naruto, who offered her a place to live. She accepted and soon found herself part of the Harbingers. She and Naruto became lovers 3 months after her joining. She was a devout follower of Naruto, but didn't worship the blood god. This was fine in Naruto's eyes and he very much enjoyed his time with her. She told Naruto that she didn't want to be pregnant just yet as she wanted the storm of what was going on to die down first. Her title in the Harbingers was the Ice Queen. Sitting down on his throne, Senna bowed to her ruler and lover. Her charcoal black hair was kept neat, and on her face was a pair of glasses that looked pretty hot for her. She wore a military-styled uniform, and yes, she was a sleeper agent for Naruto, even giving him information on the various things that was going on. Ah, Senna. Good to see you again, said Naruto as Senna lifted her head. I missed you, my lord. She purred as Naruto shifted in his seat as he leaned forward. I did too. But we have more pressing matters. What news have you brought me? Asked Naruto with Senna pulling out some documents and handing them to Naruto. I see. So the rebel leader wishes to negotiate, said Naruto with Senna nodding her head. Yes. Due to the rebels being in a losing streak, the leader wishes to speak with you. Not much is revealed other than that, said Senna with Naruto closing the documents and smiling to her, which resulted in her blushing at him. Well done, Senna. You've done me a good service on procuring these documents. Come closer, said Naruto with Senna making her way to Naruto only to be pulled into his lap. Giving her a kiss on the lips, Senna giggled as she kissed him back. But as they got handsy with each other, the doors to the throne room were thrown open as Taiyo was seen making her way to Naruto. My love, we have reports of enemy forces heading here, she said with Senna climbing off Naruto's lap. What type of enemies? Asked Naruto. Bandits. They seem to be asking the question as to where their leader has gone, stated Taiyo. I see. Well, let me go and clean house. Might even have a few left barely alive for Kismetit to play with, said Naruto as he made his way out the throne room and to the outside, with the king and queen standing before the cell where they kept the man who was shit scared of the one who would kill him. To their horror, the very man they swore they'd protect was dead. Not only that, but the 2 magic knights stationed to guard the man were gone as well. Clenching his teeth as a hiss of frustration left his lips, the king spun around and looked to Mei, who was standing there. For once in her life, Mei feared what was going to happen to her. She was very much worried that the king had found out that she knew the necromancer, aka the Black Hunter, but her fears were thrown away when the king asked her to do something. Bring in a Suzusento, our elite guard unit. She is to track down the Black Hunter and kill him, said the king in rage. Of course, my lord, said Mei walking away.